Hi everybody, welcome to Cooking with Miss Cindy. I'm Miss Cindy from the South Brunswick Public Library. Today I'm going to show you three very basic recipes that you can make as usual in your microwave without having to use a stove or an oven, and they will be three different quesadilla recipes. If you don't know what a quesadilla is, at its most basic form, it is a tortilla with cheese in it. But I'm going to show you three different ways that you can make it, and don't forget to check the description for the different variations that you can do. So, let's get to it. Alright, we are going to start on our first quesadilla. Now this is the base recipe that you're going to need to learn. It is super easy, and it has two ingredients. Number one, tortillas. Number two, cheese. That is it. The kind of tortillas that you use are really up to you. I am using medium flour ones. I find them to be the easiest to work with personally, but I've also done this recipe with corn tortillas. It is really all the same. And for the cheese, I have a Mexican style blend. It's got like Monterey Jack and cheddar and stuff. You could use pretty much any kind of cheese that you like. I am partial to like a cheddar or a jack, so I think this is a good mix. Now to this recipe, you can add pretty much anything that you want. So I'm just going to show you how to make the basic recipe, and then from there, you can really just do whatever your heart or your stomach tells you. So I got my one tortilla, and I have some cheese. The amount of cheese that you put in is whatever your heart desires, pretty much. Altogether, I'd probably say about a quarter cup is good if your tortilla is about this big. If you have a smaller tortilla, then, less cheese. Okay, so you're going to try to arrange your cheese so it's roughly half of the tortilla, so that when you fold it, it folds really nicely. So I'm going to actually push it a little bit more towards the edges. That is it. This is the very basic quesadilla that you might need. Now to this, I am going to add more things because these are the things that I want to add. From here, you can add pretty much anything you have in your pantry, anything you want to use up. I'll show you what I'm using, but I'll also put in the description some suggestions for other things that you can put in. The first thing I'm going to put in is a little bit of hot sauce. I don't like things super spicy, but I do like a little bit of hot sauce every once in a while. Now, I also have some shredded chicken left over from another recipe that I made this week. So I'm going to add a little bit of that. Doesn't need to be too much. Just a little bit will do. And I also, from that same recipe, have a little bit of this roasted corn. So I think all these will go together nicely. You want to make sure not to overstuff it. If it's too fat, it'll be really unwieldy to deal with. So you take it, you fold it, and what I like to do is I kind of press it a little bit. The cheese will pretty much be the glue that will hold it together, so I want to make sure there's as much contact. And that's it. This is going to go into the microwave for 1 minute, and it is going to be cheesy and melty and amazing when it comes out. So, I'll see you then. Okay, it is out of the microwave and very hot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife. This is optional, and if you do choose to do this, please make sure to get a grown-up. And I'm just going to cut it in half so I get a nice manageable quesadilla. As you can see, it is all melted and gooey and delicious. Ready to go back on my plate. Alright, that is it for quesadilla number one. Let's move on to number two. Okay, this is recipe number two. It is kind of a more Italian version of a quesadilla. So for this, I'm going to need the same tortillas I had before, some sort of pasta sauce. I'm actually not using a red sauce, I'm using a pesto, and a different cheese than before. I would recommend maybe not a cheddar or a jack this time, but something lighter and a little bit milder. So this is actually the same Italian blend that I had from my lasagna, and it's got provolone, parmesan, asiago. I would recommend maybe a mozzarella or a provolone. If you go with all Parmesan, that is going to be way too intense of a flavor, way too salty. So I recommend, again, a milder cheese. So I already actually have some cheese measured out. That's why the bag's empty. And move this. So, as usual, grab your tortilla. You're going to spoon your pasta sauce. I'd say probably about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons, depending on how big it is. And how much you like pasta sauce, I suppose. Just give it a nice even spread. And your cheese, again, probably a 1/4 to a 1/2 cup will do ya. Make sure not to overstuff it too much. And that is it. So this is just a very basic pesto quesadilla. If you're making yours with red sauce and you want to make it like a pizzadilla, that would be really good. You could add things in like pepperoni, peppers and onions, mushrooms, olives. All those would be really, really excellent. So now that it's folded, give it a little bit of a squish, and it's going to go in the microwave. This one's a little bit smaller, so I'll probably only put it in the microwave for about 45 seconds. So let's go. Alright, this one was in the microwave for about 40 seconds, and it feels fairly done and fairly hot. So again, I'm going to give it a slice. If you do this, please make sure that you have a grown-up with you. I don't want you guys chopping your fingers off. And you can see the inside is pesto-y and melty. So it's going to go back on our plate. And this one is good. Now we are going to move on to quesadilla number 3. Okay, you guys, we are at quesadilla number 3. This is more of a dessert quesadilla. So for this, I do definitely recommend using a flour tortilla. I feel like a corn tortilla is going to taste slightly weird with this combination of flavors. So again, flour is probably your best bet here. I'm going to be using strawberry conserve. You can use marmalade, jam, jelly, preserve, anything you've got. And cream cheese. So let's move all this out of the way. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our tortilla, as usual. And for this one, unlike the other ones, I am going to recommend that you use both sides. So let's get a little bit of our strawberry going. And I'm going to try to spread it as best I can. This one is not going to get microwaved. It can if you'd like, but I wouldn't suggest doing it for too long. It might take on kind of a strange flavor. Now I'm doing this with strawberry and cream cheese because it's a nice flavor pairing, but you can do any flavor, jam, jelly, preserve, marmalade, whatever. You could also do fruit like Nutella and banana would be nice. A peanut butter with banana would be good, or a Nutella with strawberry. That would all taste incredible. Now, our cream cheese is going to go on the other side. This cream cheese is a little unwieldy. That's okay. For this, I would probably say 2 tablespoons of the cream cheese is good, and 2 to 3 of the marmalade is also good. Try to spread it as best you can. If you use your cream cheese at room temperature, it will make it infinitely easier to deal with. So I highly recommend letting it warm up a little bit. Just gonna push that off there. Take this little bit. Good. Now these 2 halves are gonna come together. And I like to kind of squish them together to make sure you get even distribution of your toppings. Again, in the description, I will be putting in lots and lots of other suggestions of pairings that you could do, different toppings, stuff like that. So if you don't have these ingredients, or you don't like these ingredients specifically, I'll give you other suggestions so that you can follow the same basic recipe. This is not going to get microwaved, so this is pretty much already done. You can cut it in half if you like. I'm going to do that here. I should be doing this on a cutting board, but it's all cheesy. And that's it. You can even do a classic peanut butter jelly sandwich on a tortilla like this. And this looks pretty tasty to me. We are all done. You have just learned how to make 3 different styles of quesadillas, and they're all going to be really, really easy and adaptable to the stuff that you have in your kitchen. Super easy, right? That is all that you need to make a really, really basic quesadilla recipe. Now, this is something that you can use to make food for your entire family, because then everybody can decide what they want in theirs. Everybody gets exactly what they want. Plus, you can use up stuff in your pantry, stuff in your fridge, leftovers. It's truly a versatile recipe. So, as usual, I'm going to ask that if you made anything from Cooking with Miss Cindy or Tween Tuesday or just anything, please send it to me at this address right here. I'd really love to hear from you. I'd love to see what you guys are up to. So, until next time on Cooking with Miss Cindy, bon appetit! Bye!